Ես հիմա Կազիմիրի այգում եմ, որը Վարշավայի համալսարանի հին կամպուսի և նոր մասնաշենքերից մեկի մեջտեղում եմ։ Համալսարանի հին կամպուսի ամենահին շենքը կոչվում է Կազիմիրի պալատ, իսկ այս նոր մասնաշենքը բավականին վերջերս է շահագործման հանձնվել։ Այստեղ են տեղակայված ժամանակակից լեզուների և կիրառական լեզվաբանության ֆակուլտետները։ Այս մասնաշենքում այսօր ես հանդիպել եմ Վարշավայի համալսարանի գիտության գծով պրոռեկտորին, պրոֆեսոր Զիգմունտ Լալակին։ Պրոֆեսոր Լալակի հետ խոսել ենք Վարշավայի համալսարանի հետազոտական նախագծերից, գիտահեն կրթության կարևորությունից, ինչպես նաև Հայաստանի կրթության և գիտության ոլորտում սպասվող բարեփոխումներից։ Առաջարկում եմ մեր զրույցի մանրամասները դիտել հարցազրույցում։
Okay.
Professor Lalak, it's a pleasure to meet you here at the University of Warsaw. And I suggest to start our conversation with exploring the higher education landscape of Poland. In Poland, there are two main types of higher education institutions, university type and non-university type. We don't have this distinction in Armenia. Could you please say what are the main differences between these two categories? And also using the University of Warsaw as an example, provide information about what criteria an institution should fulfill to be called a university type higher education institution.
Well, first of all, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a great pleasure to host you here at the University of Warsaw. University has a long tradition of cultural and research links with Armenian scientists, especially physicists. And I think that that tradition will be maintained successfully over the coming years. Going back to your question, in fact, there are two types of universities in Poland. So, higher education establishment which offer teaching, instruction, education. One type is the university as such. The example being, for instance, University of Warsaw or Jagiellonian University. And those are so-called classic universities which have to fulfill, to deserve the name of a classic university, have to fulfill certain criteria. Well, specific criteria being that they should run research activities in at least 6 scientific disciplines, and those disciplines have to fit into at least 3 broadly understood fields of research. So, to sum up, there must be research activities at the university which are located in different areas of research, like basic sciences together with humanities or social sciences. Such an establishment, which deserves the name of a classic university, has to be a truly interdisciplinary enterprise. Well, beyond that, there is a large number of institutions which do not fulfill those criteria, but still they carry the proud name of an university with a suitable adjective. Those are so-called adjective universities. And those are, in fact, vocational schools. I mean, sometimes very advanced vocational schools representing very high level of research and teaching. And perhaps they differ somewhat in focus. So the stress in their activities is somewhat beyond the basic research. They are more active in the area of commercialization of research, in education activities as such. They are closer to everyday needs of the socio-economic environment. So that's the basic difference. University of Warsaw is, of course, a prime example on Polish soil of the first type of classic universities.
Professor, in Armenia, the university's educational programs sometimes are not research-based, and these have a lot of reasons. One main reason is that the university's teaching staff is not engaged in
research,
even part-time research activities because of workload. And the students of the universities sometimes don't have the opportunity to be engaged in research activities. and it is interesting to hear about the importance of research-based education and what strategies, what mechanisms adopted the University of Warsaw to provide research-based education and also to engage its students in research activities.
Oh yeah, this is one of the prime objectives of a research-based university, and we count ourselves between research-based universities. I mean, taking example from best European institutions of that type. So the prime objective is to engage students at all levels. So first degree students, second degree students, which means in our case master diploma students, and also PhD students, to engage them immediately once they arrive at the university into research activities which are carried out in the laboratories of various university departments, units, institutes. And this is a policy, overall policy of the university, which is enforced at all levels. So somehow the deans, the directors of the institutes, they require their staff to be engaged in this type of activities. One thing which you mentioned is this teaching load issue, which it is sometimes painful for an active scientist to fulfill the full teaching load. So what we are doing right now, we are offering a lot of opportunities to reduce the teaching load under the condition that the time which is saved that way is devoted to the supervision of research activities of students, PhD students or diploma students. So there is something for something policy, and this policy is applied uniform over the whole university. We still, while reducing the teaching load, we take care that the most active scientists actually do teach, that there is a direct contact between students and this most active frontline researchers, that they know the names, they have the opportunity to attend the lectures, they have the opportunity to talk to those people. I think this is an important part of creating a special culture, research-oriented culture at the university.
And if I am not mistaken, the university is taking measures to engage international researchers in research and teaching activities of the University of Warsaw.
Yes, actually we offer positions on the competitive basis. I mean, whenever we are to fill a position at the university, say professorship or even postdoc position, we typically open a worldwide competition, open competition, so everyone can apply. Everyone is invited to apply, and in fact in many disciplines we have a broad spectrum of applicants from all over the world. This is the case especially in natural sciences, so in physics, especially theoretical physics, but also in mathematics, in informatics, in biology. We have candidates, really good candidates from all over the world. So the result is that at this point about 10% of the academic staff consists of foreigners, so people who are not Polish nationals. And we would be happy to enhance this participation of foreigners in our academic life. Of course, there are various problems related to that. I mean, life in a country like Poland it's perhaps still not quite comfortable for foreigners. They have to get used to local culture, so to say. They have to get used to salaries which are somewhat lower than in Western universities located in Western Europe. We are still growing. We are trying to improve in all those aspects of everyday and academic life related to the stay at the university, to the stay in Warsaw. But still there is a distance to cover. But still, we make effort. We dedicate special funds to assist foreigners who start working at the university, and to foreigners who come here to conduct the study, to courses. I think this is important, that the university is consistent in those efforts, that we are actually moving forward to accommodate more and more researchers from abroad. well, including our colleagues from Armenia. I am not sure whether we have a permanent academic staff coming from that part of the world, but certainly I can remember now at least one postdoc whose origin was in Armenia. Great postdoc, of course.
The University of Warsaw has adopted its strategy for 2023-2032, and one of the fundamental pillars of the university is research excellence. It is interesting of what measures are taken in university to achieve this goal, and especially in strengthening infrastructural capability for research, and also in collaborations both domestic and international.
Yeah, the research is one of the pillars. Well, it's the basic pillar, together with high quality education, of course, but we want the education to be based on results of the research carried out by members of our academic community. And first of all, this is sort of a classic version of the university mission, and at this point the university follows that classic route. Now, of course, putting such ideas into life, implementing them requires certain effort, organizational effort, and also financial effort. University over recent 10-15 years was quite successful in acquiring substantial funds to raise new buildings, to significantly improve the infrastructure. Well, one of the examples, the recent example being this wonderful building where we are now, which is housing humanities, whose operations are related to humanities, literature, and foreign languages departments are located here. And this is a great space which is used for many purposes, to bring students, postdoctoral students and researchers together, offers ample space for all types of activities. So this is one example. The other example is the Ochota campus, called our science campus, where the natural sciences departments are located, so physics, chemistry, biology. And there also we have vast resources in terms of research infrastructure, in terms of various devices, very precious devices acquired over the recent 10 or 15 years. So actually, our labs offer really good possibilities, advanced possibilities for active researchers, and I know that because we are visited by our colleagues from Western laboratories, from high-profile universities, and they keep telling us that actually the working conditions we can offer right now are really good, and there is a possibility to carry out advanced research at the University of Warsaw. Now, internationalization, this is important, and regular, permanent flow of people. People have to come and go. Our researchers have to visit foreign universities, and foreign scholars have to have the opportunity to visit our labs, to join our research projects, and we are trying to take care of that, to arrange suitable means. Also, we devote large portion of our funding from various sources to support this international exchange, to support formation of international research teams, and to allow our people to go to other places to acquire knowledge at the forefront of science, and then we are expecting them to come back and to share that knowledge with our community. So this requires certain resources. We are fortunate to be a member of an international alliance of universities. This alliance is called FOR-EU Plus Alliance, European Alliance, and it consists of 7 great universities. 5 of them are located in old Europe, and there are 2 leading universities from the Central Europe, which means University of Warsaw and Charles University from Prague. Beyond that, the members of the alliance are Sorbonne University, Heidelberg University, Copenhagen University, Milan, Geneva. And this is very useful because this alliance is an extremely useful platform to exchange ideas, to exchange experience, and actually to meet people from other universities, and this is an environment, inspiring environment, which helps to realize all those goals. So to form common research teams, to exchange students, to exchange lectures. For instance, there is an active e-learning platform, open to every student and every researchers from the Alliance. And actually our share in the content of that platform is pretty large, I would say. If not leading, I might mention at this point. We are proud of it, actually. And that's important. That's important that we participate in this international exchange on equal footing with our colleagues from other well-established universities. So it is important to arrange for such a platform. Well, if Armenian institutions would be interested, then of course University of Warsaw could be instrumental in creating such a platform.
The University of Warsaw is also one of the beneficiaries of Research Excellence Initiative, Research University, which is a Polish government program. Mm-hmm. What is the purpose of the program, and also what transformations did it bring to the University of Warsaw? Oh,
this is a breakthrough program, actually, a great initiative. A special amount of money which can be freely used at the university by each university who won the award to enhance its research activities directly and indirectly. So one use of that money, one benefit is to support directly certain research teams, the leading research teams, which actually need at a given time special support, but the other great application of those funds is to enhance general support for research activities. We are also building with these funds research infrastructure. We are reshaping our instruments, our laboratories, but also we offer training to administrative staff who assists research. And this is very important. Right now, in the leading institutions, this so-called supporting staff is almost as important as researchers themselves. The researchers are simple people who don't understand sometimes the intricacies of the real life and, legal limits and financial limitations which are put upon research activities, and they need assistance. They need qualified help and guidance, and it is very important to employ at the university competent people who can offer such a help at very high level. Without that, in a contemporary university, you cannot even think seriously about developing serious competitive research programs. That's very important. We need people to acquire new funds, additional funds, to support our grant applications. We need competent people to offer everyday help in running laboratories, in running various processes at the university, and we can use the funds from the Excellence Initiative to create centers. The other issue is the creation of actual excellence centers at the university. At the beginning, we had to run certain process. We had to realize where the strong points are in our university curriculum, in our research curriculum, which groups, which lines of research are most promising, which are expected to bring breakthrough results in a reasonably short period of time, And after identifying such areas, such centers, potential centers of excellence, upon that map, so to say, of resources, we have built a number of centers. I mean, the centers are supposed to cover all needs of researchers engaged in this breakthrough research, so to offer them administrative assistance, financial assistance, to offer them additional money to support those extra expenditures. This is another great use of this additional resources offered by Excellence Initiative. In general, I think this is a great program because it allows the university as such to create its own research profile, to shape its own research program based on the actual resources which are there, which we have at the university, and this is a great opportunity for all of us.
In Armenia, there is a problem. The cooperation between higher education institutions and scientific organizations is weak. I know there are several possibilities in Poland for such collaborations, and I know that the University of Warsaw has a lot of collaborations and also collaborations with scientific organizations. One example is the joint doctoral program with the Polish Academy of Sciences. Can you provide an overview on your collaborations with scientific organizations and evaluate the effectiveness of such collaborations, especially in the context of bridging science and higher education?
Well, the collaboration you mentioned explicitly is the collaboration with the Mathematical Institute of the Academy of Sciences, which is a renowned research institute, I mean one of the best in Poland, and what we are created together is a doctoral school. So we have common PhD students, so we have a common PhD program, which is extremely useful because those students, they are lucky because they are shared by two institutions, by the university and this Institute of Mathematical Sciences, which offer enormous possibilities. I mean, which each of those institutions has its own international contacts, has its own research projects, which are very rich in content, and they are made accessible to all those students. So that's one of the possibility. In addition, we have other doctoral schools which are formally say based on the university exclusively, but in reality our PhD students have many possibilities of collaborating with researchers from outside the university. For instance, in Poland, we realized that sometimes it's useful if a PhD student has more than a single advisor. So at this point, we require that one of the advisors should come from the university, should be an employee of the University of Warsaw, but beyond that, a PhD student can have many advisors from other institutions, including institutes of Academy of Sciences or other universities. And this is actually a fact of life. This is happening. Many students collaborate with research groups based outside the university, and formally this is recognized in assigning a statute of an additional advisor, of a second or third advisor to a researcher from another institution. So this is very important. On top of that, we have bilateral agreements. I mean, the number of active bilateral agreements right now is about 1,000. Of course, not all of those bilateral agreements are actually active, in the sense that not all of them are being used at a given time, but many of them are. And that number includes also links and agreements with foreign institutions, with institutions located in other countries, European countries, but not only European countries. We have agreements with research units based in America, in Latin America, in Asia, even in very far Asia. So those links are sometimes more active than one would expect in certain areas in certain disciplines. So those bilateral agreements sometimes lead to broader agreements, including universities or even governments. And as I said, this is sometimes very useful because this allows to access funds which are on daily basis not so readily accessible. Beyond that, there are these alliances. I mean, right now we are in a single European alliance, 7 universities, which I mentioned. The goal is that these alliances will be able at some point to issue so-called European degree certificates. So that will be a further benefit for participants of that international exchange, and that will enhance people to mix even further, to spend more time educating themselves in partner institutions before coming back to a home institution and to receive the degree. And it's important that in the certificate it would be mentioned that this additional experience has taken place. I think everyone benefits from running such programs, although it's not easy because there are various cultures. I mean, each country, each university is a separate world. It's a bubble. I mean, that's a popular word which actually encapsulates certain reality. I mean, we live in our bubbles, and to cross the wall between one bubble and another bubble, it requires certain energy, certain effort, and of course there are only benefits from making such steps, but sometimes that needs assistance. Like I mentioned, that life in a country like Poland for a foreigner, it's not so easy. I mean, there are various things, various aspects of life which have to be taken care of. And for instance, at the University of Warsaw, we have created a special office which is called a welcome point, or welcome center, which tries to fill the gap in that area, to offer assistance not only in the matter of research or education, but in the matters of real life in Poland to foreigners.
Professor, in Armenia, it is hard to find a scientific organization or a university which has technology transfer center. I know that the University of Warsaw has it, and it is interesting how does the center work and how does the university collaborate with private sector, with business?
Oh yes, this is we are making great concerted effort to improve those relations, to raise the volume of those relations, because that's very important. I mean, one reason why it is important is that might, in principle, bring additional assets, additional funds to the university and to the researchers as well. But of course, it's also important because those applications, they create the image of the university. I mean, we have to be useful to the society. We are a public university, so essentially 95%, if not 99% of our funding comes from the government in one way or the other, or directly or indirectly through government grant agencies. And we have to be able to prove that the results of that research are useful for the society, are useful for the external world. And that's why this application, that's why commercialization is really, really important. So we have such an office, and this office offers assistance mostly to researchers, but also works like a matching center. So these people who are working there, they are also looking for external agents, for external enterprises who could be interested in our research, could say initiate practically oriented research in various areas. They are trying to match people from the industry sector with practically oriented researchers. And researchers, they need also a lot of help in today's world, in the sense that commercialization requires, well, certain financial assistance. You have to spend some money to benefit later from the invention and from the application of research results. But also there is a rich legal environment which has to be taken into account. People need assistance in preparing documents, in signing agreements, in making various arrangements. Mm-hmm. And this assistance is also offered by the technology transfer center. I mean, they are growing every year, and the operations they participate in are becoming richer and richer. Now they are reaching even outside Poland. Mm-hmm. We are looking for partners in other countries, say, first of all, in the countries where there is a sort of a Polish diaspora, like France or the United States or Great Britain. The point is also that for this type of activity to be more successful, there must be certain changes happening in external world. So the external world, I mean outside the academia, has to be ready to accept the offer of the academia, and this is also the say area of our activities.
Can be ready for investments.
We cannot simply wait. We have to be active in convincing people that we could be useful, that we have something to offer, that it is worth investing.
And Professor, the Armenian government initiated reforms in the higher education and science fields of Armenia. And in 2027, all the public universities of Armenia will be merged into 6 big universities, and all the scientific organizations will be integrated into these universities. Mm-hmm. And one of the goals of this initiative is to have at least 4 Armenian universities into top 500 of world university rankings, and this goal is by 2030. What do you think? Is it realistic to achieve this goal in this 6-year period? It's a very ambitious goal.
I think it's an ambitious goal. Also, it depends on which rankings you have in mind. If you choose wisely among all possible rankings, and now there are many of those on the market, then perhaps in some of them you can progress very, very fast. I mean, my experience is that usually once you join the ranking, your progress is significant, but after a while the progress slows down because if you start from a low level, then certainly the rate of growth related to the starting point is large, and then once the level of your activities becomes significant, then this progress is less visible. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the problems of progressing in various types of rankings. The other problem is that people who are running ranking competition, they usually, well, maybe not usually, but quite often they change criteria because they want to refresh the results. I mean, to enhance people to participate, and you have to be careful. You have to watch. At the University of Warsaw, we have a special unit. We have there competent people who are watching the rankings, who are formulating on the basis of those rankings certain recommendations for the university government, and that's certainly very useful. This is perhaps the most useful. Most useful for the university role of those rankings, that they measure something. One shouldn't take the results of rankings, even of the Shanghai ranking, as an absolute goal, absolute truth. One always have to make reference to general circumstances, to the starting level, to the amount of effort, including financial effort, you can spend on assisting progress in those rankings. But in general, they measure something, and they offer useful information about the dynamics of various changes of the quality of your research in various disciplines at the university, at your institution, and this is really useful. And of course, 500. Well, if the goal is to enter the first 500 of a given ranking, then that goal might be fulfilled over a period of 6 to 10 years. That's doable, but I think what the actual value of the effort put into that will be the monitoring, will be in the results of the monitoring of various processes going on at your universities. Of course, building stronger universities, putting together, federating universities, so to say, or even just gluing together small establishments to form one larger scale establishment, research establishment, that makes sense as well. That makes sense as well because modern science actually requires a lot of organizational effort, and also actually to compete with the rest of the world you need financial assets. You need to create infrastructure at certain level. I mean, this is a big worldwide competition. If you decide to take part in that competition, you have to be aware that this is expensive, that you have to devote significant resources to that competition, especially if you want to be successful, if you want to progress. That's like in football. It's not that different in this respect. I wish you luck in these competitions.
And also, I think the newly formed Armenian universities will need your advice as a vice-rector of one of the leading universities, not only in Poland but in Europe. What is your advice for Armenian universities for research excellence? Because there are other goals of Armenian government to have research excellence, research-based educational programs, prestigious universities. What should be done to achieve these goals?
Well, I think this three ideas which work and which are efficient are the ones we were talking about. So first of all, an excellence program, so special funds at the university which can be devoted to promoting best science. Second, internationalization. It's really important that there is a constant inflow and outflow of researchers and students between Armenian institutions and external institutions. I mean, like University of Warsaw, for instance, we will be happy to host students and researchers from Armenia. So that's second. And third, certain improvement in administrative assistance. You have to be aware that you need a special environment which helps to develop best science, which allows scientists to concentrate on the actual work on making those breakthrough inventions and discoveries. And to create such an environment, you need to take care that there are right people employed around the research to take care of financial, legal, administrative matters. Also, commercialization is important, and that I don't know of many scientists who have enough experience to become successful in selling the products of their work without specialized assistance.
Professor, thank you very much for these important insights and for your time. It was a pleasure. Dziękuję.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to talk to you, to share our experience with our friends from Armenia.
Thank you.
I hope it's going to be useful.
Thank you very much. Of course.